Hey guys, so today I am going to be filming my fall book haul. So the first book that I have to show you is The Infinite Sea by Rick Yancey. Now this is the sequel to The Fifth Wave, which I absolutely loved. The Fifth Wave is an alien, post-apocalyptic type book, and it left off in a really horrible place, so I'm looking forward to this. This was actually my most anticipated read of the year, and it just came out and I picked it up, so I'm gonna get into this here really soon. So excited! Next I have my first ever graphic novel, which is Saga Volume 1. Now I did already read this in the month of October, so I will be putting that in my October wrap-up if you want to know more about that. Next we have the sequel to The Assassin's Curse, which is The Pirate's Wish. I haven't read The Assassin's Curse yet, but this publishing house is stopping print on these books, so I wanted to get my hands on one before they weren't available anymore. And this, I guess, follows the story of this princess, pirate, kick-ass, awesome girl character, so I'm super psyched to read this one. Jandy Nelson just came out with a book called I'll Give You the Sun, which has been super popular here on BookTube recently, but I wanted to start with her first book, which is called The Sky is Everywhere, and this follows a girl who has something traumatic happen to her in her life, and then she has two boys, one who sort of anchors her in the past and helps her remember all of the good things before the trauma, and one that's trying to bring her forward into the future. After that, I have Say What You Will, which is supposed to be this really good contemporary novel. It just came out. It's sort of the love story of this boy with OCD and this girl with cerebral palsy, and I'm really fascinated by disabilities and learning more about them, so I'm looking forward to this one. Rumble by Ellen Hopkins. This one's going to be a little bit tougher to get through, even though the writing is very poetic, so there's lots of blank spaces in typical Ellen Hopkins style. I've only read one other Ellen Hopkins book before, but all of her books deal with really heavy topics. This one in particular deals with this boy who is trying to come to terms with the suicide of his brother. So I think that it's going to be really, really good, but a little bit harder to get through. This next one I'm so excited about because it comes from one of my absolute all-time favorite authors, and that is Afterworlds by Scott Westerfeld. Scott Westerfeld wrote the Uglies series, which is definitely one of my top young adult dystopian series of all time, and I just absolutely love his writing style. I absolutely love his storytelling, so I'm really, really excited about this one. I guess it has a parallel plot line, so you have the outer story, which is this girl who is an author. She's young, 18, 19, just moved to New York City trying to get her book published, and then we have the world of her book. So it's really like two books in one. I'm excited to see how they come together at the end, and it just should be a really enjoyable read. This thing is massive though, it's really huge. Next I picked up 100 Sideways Miles by Andrew Smith. This is the first Andrew Smith book that I've ever read, and I did really enjoy it. If you want to hear a little bit more about it, I talked about it in my September wrap-up. Spoiler alert, yes, it is about a horse falling upside down through the sky. And some other things. The next two books I'm just going to show you really quickly because they are cooking/food books. So the first one is Rawsome Vegan Baking, which just has these scrumptious looking recipes in it. I'm not raw vegan, but I absolutely love these more simple recipes that make use of plant foods, so looking forward to tasting some of these. If you know me, you know that I love only a couple of things. Books are one of them, and food is another one, so combining them, perfect mix. I also picked up The Sun Food Diet Success System by David Wolfe. Now, he is such an inspiring man. I'm not following this plan, but I'm just fascinated to learn about it. I also picked up The Iron Trial, which is by Holly Black and Cassandra Clare, and this is supposed to be so good. I'm really, really looking forward to this one because this is an amalgamation of Holly Black, who is just creepy and wonderful as an author, and Cassandra Clare, who is also very popular. And the big discussion point on this book is whether or not it is similar to Harry Potter. Some people say it's exactly like Harry Potter, and some people say no, it's not like Harry Potter at all. The only thing that's similar is that there are two boy characters and one girl character attending a boarding school with magic. So we'll see. My copy is also signed, which is super exciting. I've really been in a fantasy mood as we are nearing fall, so I picked up Snow Like Ashes by Sarah Rosh. This is full of magic and adventure. This girl sets off on a quest to save the realm, and it sounds really formulaic but really fun, so I'm looking forward to reading and reviewing this one. So I saved the best for last because this next book is one that I have heard nothing but amazing things about, and that is The Kiss of Deception. This book follows a princess who decides she does not want to be a princess and does not want to marry the man that she's supposed to marry, so she runs away and lives in this little village. But then the book is also told from two other perspectives. It's told from the perspective of the prince who she was supposed to marry, who comes to the village after her, and also an assassin who comes to the village after her. And the two male characters, the prince and the assassin, I guess you can't really tell which one is which until the end of the book, at least that's what I've heard. So it's supposed to be superb storytelling, and I'm just so excited about it. Also, look at this cover, guys. Normally I'm not a fan of girl looking off into the distance, but this is absolutely gorgeous. The way they've done it is so tasteful with the silver, and it's sort of embossed onto the top of the cover there, and it's going to look beautiful on my shelf. Okay, those are all of the books that I have picked up in the last month and a half for the fall season. As you can tell, I've definitely been looking more towards fantasy books, less contemporary. I picked up a couple of contemporary, but mostly fantasy adventure type books. That's what I typically tend to read in the fall time. Make sure to let me know down below if you've read any of these books and what you thought about them. Alright, I'll talk to you soon. Stay happy, stay healthy. Bye guys.